All right, today we're working on a D41E Komatsu Bulldozer with a piston hanging out of number 6 on this 360. So we're gonna do the unthinkable. We're gonna come and swap this with a 5.9. To help us, we've got leg arms from Welker Farms. What do you think?
Isn't that just a rebranded Cummins?
Come on, man, I'm trying to create this real fake internet drama here.
It's not drama, buddy.
You know what? I don't think this is working out.
Oh, come on!
All right, so we do have a special treat here, Scott. Thank you very much.
Hey, appreciate it. Really, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah, no worries. So you were in the area and said, let's do something and hang out. And I said, well, I need a hand, so.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity to work for somebody else.
Yeah.
See how it goes, and if I like it, maybe I can stay.
Yeah, all right. So we'll put you to the test. What we're gonna do is, we're at V&R again, and they picked up this Komatsu Bulldozer that we don't know anything about other than it's missing a big chunk on the side of the engine.
It's just a little bit of cast.
Yeah, a little bit of cast.
It's okay.
So it's an A pump, which is an industrial engine. It's a mid-2000s Komatsu, but it's actually a 53 block. So 53 blocks were the bad run of Cummins, whatever. V&R got a quote from Komatsu. They wanted $6 for an engine. And we're like, yeah. They're basically giving these shipping crates away. I think this is a 91. So what we need to do is pull the engine out of this, we'll pull the engine out of that, and basically we have to take everything on that engine and put it on this. So we gotta pull timing cover, exhaust, intake, and then put that pump so all the linkages and stuff work. The pumps are set up different. Bulldozer's meant to go full throttle, stay there. The way the governor works is completely different than an on-road vehicle. So that injection system doesn't really work. If you wanna take the floor out, we'll pull the sheet metal off. I'm gonna get going on this. I'll yank this out. And you want to race? Who gets their engine out first? No.
It's on. Let's do it. There really isn't a 15 in here. Right now we're disconnecting the drive line that runs from the flywheel right into the hydraulic pump or the transmission, however they have it set up. It's probably hydrostatic. So in order to get the engine out, we take the drive line off. We'll take the rear engine mounts bolts off, take the front ones off, disconnect all the necessity things from the engine, and then yank it out.
I'm just about done. How about you, Scott?
Yeah, like 5 more minutes. At least 5 more minutes.
Scott, can you see if you can grab me something? There's a perfect little forklift up at the front. The ground wire around here somewhere.
I have no idea how to run this thing.
Jerk it a little bit. Yep, there we go.
Basically what we got going on here is we're disconnecting the engine right now. We've had to pull the radiator forward a little bit, take the fan off. We're getting ready to pull that motor. So when we pull the motor out, we'll bring it over to the shop. We'll set it down on the stand. We'll take the other motor that he pulled out, which he's quicker than me. He's actually working. I'm not. So I should probably get back at it. I'm getting fired if I'm not careful.
Don't use your legs, use your arms.
Okay, where are we going with this? Gentle.
See what I'm telling you? They stacked them. They needed a few. That one's still good. We can solder it. Do you want to keep the starter on for right now?
I have a bell housing coming.
Well, we gotta take it off anyways.
Right, but if the flywheel is damaged, we're in trouble.
Okay.
But I don't think.
We'll raise it.
We'll just take it and put it in a different spot because the engine always stops in one of 3 spots, right? I'm serious.
Never really thought of it that way.
So it's always in one of 3 spots.
heat
So
the
when
ring
you've got
gear
if you got worn teeth on your flywheel, you just warm it up, warm up the ring, and just turn it like quarter degree to 20 degrees.
That's the poor man fix. My logic in this, like, okay, it makes sense, but
why not just buy a new ring?
if you're already there, just wait a few minutes, like days.
I think that's a big misconception between the States and Canada, is how quickly we can get parts. Scott took the entire exhaust off on this side, leaving all the turbos and stuff alone. We've got our engine mounts done. I think we've got all of our wires unhooked. And now, whoa, there's some forks there. I think we're just about there.
So our friend of ours, neighbor, he had this big old loader. It's a 50,000 pound loader.
Yeah.
Produces 260 horsepower.
This 19 liter.
Seriously, it's ridiculous. 1,000 torque. Well, guess what this 8.3 liter does? 300 horsepower, 1,000 torque.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like, okay, so
this 8.3 would put out roughly the same as a 16V.
It's ridiculous.
71. Yeah.
Probably.
And do it on like a lot less fuel?
Yeah. Ready to go?
I think so. Transmission for sale.
Flywheel needs to come off.
Yep.
This rust is amazing.
There we go. That's that.
On the rust, not a fan. not a fan at all.
You guys don't have rust?
No, not at all. No, we just have dirt and no rain and no water and dust.
Gotta get that compressor out.
Come on, put some legs into that.
There we go.
He's struggling a bit.
Look at that pile. There's some oil in there. So that's fine. We know that there's chunks in the pan.
You know, usually you don't mix it, but for a cooling effect for the engine, I think that helps a little bit.
In Canada, because it's winter time, we don't want our engines to freeze, so we put coolant in the oil as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's not the smartest thing, but you guys do what you want.
It should be just over here. It's a shaft and
Okay, you want me to carry it?
yeah. You're the workout guy. I got look at the spines.
Ooh.
I'm surprised it was even moving.
Explain what's going on.
Okay, so it's actually just after lunch. We've got both engines out. We've got our good engine stripped, and now this is the Komatsu. We got a bell housing on order, which is coming. It'll be here this afternoon, but as you can see, these splines are completely toast. Now,
We could put the engine in, and you can still put this together.
because
It's not gonna be fun.
I was afraid of this, that we'd have everything and one part that we need is gonna stop us. So like if we get the bell housing, we can pop the bell housing on, put the mounts on because we do need these mounts for the back.
Yep.
Then there's nothing to popping the clutch on from the floor. Like
Are you gonna try
floor.
to torque those? Because it's gonna be somewhat hard to put a torque wrench in it. I mean, you can do it. You get an extension. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, if you're gonna like seriously get a torque wrench and torque it, you might want to hold this out.
What we do is for the camera on the last one, we're like, yeah, click, click.
You guys do the same? I didn't just say that.
The
did I?
in-camera.
No, I didn't say that we don't like fake torque it.
That's that. Slowly your way. If it starts to go, just let it go. So we don't want to pull the head off of this one, but I did want to, since we have to change the oil pan, one, because it's completely different, two, because the one we had was completely rotten. Figure we'll pull the caps off and do a bearing roll on it anyway. You can tell that the bearings are in great shape. Little normal wear marks, that's fine. The crankshaft just on the first spot there looks fantastic, nice and clean. We got some alley bearings, so we're gonna put some alleys in there. We're just gonna plastic gauge them, quick and dirty. Well, not quick and dirty. I'm gonna wash my hands. We're gonna do this properly, but we're gonna do it quickly. We're gonna do it efficiently. We're gonna do a bearing roll on the mains and on the rods, plastic gauge it, and then throw that oil pan on. So what actually happened?
It's the piston either failed or it's not the crank, it wasn't the rod or anything.
No.
Wow.
I was fully expecting
the
a rod
piston-
cap to be laying in the oil pan.
Unless a valve dropped and then crushed the piston and then broke that.
I wish I could have been there.
I know, right?
If we never get to see this happen,
You really don't wish for it to happen, but when it does happen, you're like, man, I wish I was there.
that means that this Cummins failed, and it never see. This is unheard of. We were gonna put a Cummins in this thing, but maybe we should power stroke swap it. What do you think?
Thinking Deutz.
There we go. There's a
We need a
three-cylinder
Deutz.
air-cooled Deutz.
We need a Deutz.
Okay, so we're just looking at the timing cover now. As we said earlier in the video, this is an A pump, not a P pump. A pumps are more agricultural. They're set up for full throttle, stay there all day, and they're governed so that when it gets under load, it revs up. Why are they scrapping that?
Oh, jeez.
But we do need this timing cover, and the camshaft, obviously the engine doesn't turn over, and we can't get the cam out. So I think just quick and dirty, we're just gonna cut the gear off, leave it alone. You can heat this cherry red, and sometimes it pops off, but it's kind of a pain. We really don't care, we just need the timing cover. That's good, but that's the injection pump. I needed this gear off.
Well, crud. There's a slight bit of me like, what? Like, seriously?
I had you for like half a second.
Half a second, because before I even cut it, I'm like, okay, don't screw up in front of him, because he'll never hire me.
This being an A pump, we want this on our good engine over here, which is a VE pump. We're not gonna use this timing cover, and we're not gonna use the VE pump. It's simple, because otherwise we gotta put different linkages on for the throttle, shut off, all that fun stuff. So we are going to pull the camshaft properly out of this one, nice and clean. So we need to do a valve set on it anyway. I've got the oil strainer off. I'm gonna do the bearings real quick.
On the back of the Cummins motor, the 5.9, this is the flywheel right here. You got a pressure plate with springs on it, that bolt right up to that. You got a spline shaft that goes into here, and then that spline shaft goes to the transmission. So they looked at how much it would cost for a new pressure plate and a new shaft. It's gonna be about $5 grand. That's a little much in my opinion and everybody else's. So what they're thinking about doing is they're gonna take this, put it on here, weld it all up, cut an access hole so that you can bolt the pressure plate back to the flywheel. It might last for a year or two. It could last for the rest of the life of that thing. So, but worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, you can go buy and replace the parts and away you go.
Then we're gonna weld her. So just so you know, the owner said weld it. because it's their machine and they're not selling it. So.
I got the order.
Came to save the day.
Build now.
Swapping an engine in a Komatsu, but we need this bell housing, so thank you very much.
Dude, seriously, like I look for these things all over and I can't find anything. But there's 3.
That's perfect, thanks.
The
there's
bolts
a
are all
set of-
sheared off.
Oh, that bolt sheared off, yeah. We need this bell housing, but the engine is seized. We can't spin over the torque converter to get at the torque converter bolts. We thought we'd pull it off and then take a look. Not working. So we pulled the head, banged down some pistons. I think we got it kind of moving, but we're gonna see if the starter does anything and crank it over from here. We only have like 3 hours of light left, so I just want to have the engines together anyway. Leg arms, you higher leg arms, and it gives up. Yep.
Oh, look at you. Man. Feels good to be strong, doesn't it?
It does. See, first I use my arms,
And you use your legs.
then I use my legs.
See, I do the other way around. I usually use my legs and then arms. I don't want to get flash burned, so try now. Oh, you almost had it. Almost.
It is for sale. You can find that on eBay. Free shipping, but it's $8,000. I don't know what I have. I know what I want. It's a 5-cylinder Cummins. It's the rarest Cummins of them
You
all.
are a typical Dodge guy. That's pretty good on screen.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. I need to get some of this stuff.
it works great. So this is a first. Oshcut cut me these little tabs to go over top of the dowel, a killer dowel pin. So we'll put that in place, and these dowels rattle out and then land in the teeth and then shatter everything. It's the only fault with Cummins, other than sometimes number 6 pokes out.
Wow.
Or you can also use a pop can tab. That's beautiful. Oh, it's like a dream. We're gonna make a mess on the floor. Have you looked?
It was immaculate.
It's like,
It was immaculate. And you just made a mess.
These are all torqued to 18 foot-pounds, and generally I do with oil pans. All right, so 7 o'clock. We started at about 8:30 by the time we got rolling this morning, so it's not a bad day.
No, it was a fun day.
It was good, but we didn't get done, but we got done-ish. I'm pretty happy that we pulled 2 engines and swapped most of the parts
you
over.
pulled one and helped me with the other one. You kind of won on that.
Yeah, I kicked your ass in that one. Anyway, so we've got the front cover on. I got to put the front seal on yet. We have to do the rear main seal. I got to do a valve set to it, and then put the accessories and stuff back on it again. But Scott, you're heading home again at
Yeah,
some point.
I only had today to come out, hang out with this guy, get a little grungy, see how he works. I approve. He did well.
You did too, and I would hire you in a second, but unfortunately, I think Nick still.
I feel like Nick's paying you off to say, no, we don't need you.
Okay. If you guys don't know Welker Farms, check them out. They're awesome YouTube channel. What really set you guys apart is the Big Buds.
If you guys don't know what they are, it's a legendary tractor that basically built the backbone of agriculture. They're called Big Buds. They're built in Montana, and we have 3 of them. They're big white tractors. If you want to see more about them, we have a lot on that. We also do a lot of miscellaneous builds, things.
You have a Cummins?
We do have a Cummins. That's in common. Miscellaneous things like this guy. We get our hands into whatever happens to be available, and we go from there. If you guys like exploding things, I built a bowling ball cannon. It's on YouTube. Check it out. If you're out in our area, we're gonna launch that bowling ball for you just one time. If you come out.
I used to do golf balls, but bowling ball, that's something else. Anyway,
It's literally a cannon.
I think I got you as filthy as I possibly can. Show that you actually did work. We can take a picture, send it to Nick if you want.
You could, but we don't need proof. He knows that I work. That's why he wants me back.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and then we'll see you next week.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thanks.